This is L.A. Gore,
Brandon Jacko
from Horror Central and Horror Train, sitting here with the cast and crew of Malevolent. Can you guys introduce yourself for us?
I'm Jonas Huerta, writer and director of Malevolent.
I'm Phil Casas, the executive producer of Malevolent.
Jordan Rivers, I play Eli Gooding.
Very cool, very cool. Tell us a little bit about the film Malevolent. We only have a little brief kind of short, but everyone's very interested. So could you tell people that maybe don't know about, the plot?
So it's kind of like a throwback to Poltergeist, and in the vein of Insidious. This family goes to an estate sale. They buy this music box. This coincides with them moving into this new house, and they have no idea that this music box is haunting them. So they think that if they move, they're going to be safe. Little do they know, they take this thing with them wherever they go, and it just wreaks havoc on their lives. It tortures them in the worst kind of way.
That's an awesome idea, man.
Thank you.
Very cool idea. What was the inspiration for it? I mean, in my family, I've always heard my mother say that our family is haunted by a Bible of my great-great-grandmother, but I don't think I've ever seen a film that actually picked up on the premise that, one particular item could be haunting a family. And that's really cool. So what was the inspiration for Malevolent?
So when I was a child, I actually used to go to garage sales with my mom and yard sales, and then one day we go to an estate sale, and I really didn't know what it was, and then I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh, this is like a dead person's house," and it freaked me out.
Nice. That little brief thing that you just said reminds me so much. It's kind of like you lived the plot to the possession almost. Very cool.
I'm in fourth grade in the stranger's house, rummaging through all their cabinets and looking for stuff to buy. All the while, I'm like, how did this person die? What if something here in the house killed them and it's going to kill me? So I've had that idea since fourth grade.
Wow, and it's finally coming to fruition from what we've seen from the short, I'll tell you that. As far as the short itself, it was extremely well produced, and it was so entertaining, and I absolutely loved how it was told in flashbacks. And as far as the filmmaking point of view, I would imagine it was kind of easy to film in that kind of respect. Will the film actually be told in flashbacks, as far as them talking and then kind of reliving their lives through the story they're telling, or will it kind of be in real time?
It's a combination of both, more real time than flashbacks. We actually opened the movie in the Victorian era, and the scene opens in this post-mortem photography session. And you see this little girl who's dead on the couch about to get her photo taken. And her mom's like, wait, right before we take this photo, I need to get this item. So she hands her daughter the music box.
Wow.
So that's where that music box came from. And then we flash forward almost to real time. We open with Jordan. Okay. And he's teaching a class. And one of the questions his student poses was, has anyone ever died from using a Ouija board? And it's one of those moments where he's reflecting, and that's when the story really starts.
And what's his character name in the film?
Eli Gooding.
Eli Gooding.
Intelligence extraordinary.
Very cool. Now, Jordan, what did you think when you read the script? I mean, this, for me, as a fan of this kind of stuff, I mean, I've seen a lot of, in my line of work, I've seen a lot of independent films, but this story, and I'm not just saying this, it really seems like it's been very well detailed. It seems like it's come together a lot. So what was your reaction when you read this script?
Well, for me, it's amazing because we worked on a short before, and it's a horror film. And then Jonas said, "Hey, I've been working on this idea. I'd like to have a character ready for you." And then he gave me the script. So already, my ego is amazed. Yes,
right.
I get to work with Jonas.
Oh, that's awesome, and it's probably the biggest compliment for you, Jonas.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
trying to be humble.
And one of the things that's so unique about this project that I've never seen, and I think probably you could agree, is your advertisement campaign. Okay.
Oh yeah.
With the actresses talking to the characters and with the actors talking to the characters, that was.
Well, I like the fact that you guys give out your tips and tricks for anybody who would like to contribute, because I mean, it talks to marketing as well, because people want to see how do they do the thing on the with the kid on the bed, with the sheet raising, and how do you do that in one take and all that other stuff, which we can't really give away. You guys are gonna have to go to their YouTube site,
sleight of hand,
or go to Indiegogo and contribute to find out. But all that stuff is just amazing, and you guys are nailing it right now as far as marketing and
oh yeah, totally, absolutely. Some of the best horror films, some of my personal favorites, are the ones that have always seemed bigger than just films. And right now, with especially now the crowdfunding, we're going to touch on in just a few moments, but particularly I want to talk about how amazing the advertisement is. I remember there are two films that kind of stand in my mind. They might not be the best films, but they're two of my favorites, is The Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity. But what was so cool about these movies is the advertisement. Blair Witch was the first movie to make you think it was real. Paranormal Activity never showed you the movie. They showed you the people watching the movie. And it seems like Malevolent is going a totally different direction, but with just as remarkable of an advertising campaign. How did you come up with that idea? Because I've never seen it done before.
I don't know. We kind of brainstormed on ideas. I knew with our Indiegogo campaign we wanted to shoot a treatment video, so it kind of puts investors at ease. Like, this is what we're aiming for. This is the vein of the style. This is what we're capable of. If you watch the short, we shot that on a budget of $120 in 2 days. So imagine what we can do with 30 days and 70,000.
Yeah, that blows my mind personally, because $120. I mean, that's an incredibly crystal clear, precise filmmaking. I mean, you guys really know what you're doing, and as a fan, I'm thrilled that my favorite genre is in these kind of hands.
Do you have any sort of insights or anything that you would give to somebody who wants to get their film funded through Indiegogo?
From what we've learned is you need a whole team to do it. We started off with 3 people sharing, but you literally have to hire on like at least 20 people. You have to spam your Facebook, your Twitter like 4 or 5 times a day, because you never know who's watching or who's feeling generous at a particular moment, and they just happen to look at your link. A lot of family members will donate. So our Indiegogo is kind of slow right now. We're going to probably, if we don't get the funds off of that, we're going to look for outside investors, lawyers, doctors, dentists. But I've only worked on 2 films that were successfully funded through those campaigns. And
it's a lot of pavement pounding. You just keep on going out and grinding out.
Support the arts.
That's what we got.
And I'd imagine something like that is kind of nail biting too, because crowdfunding can be very awesome if you can get the right people to, like it's all in the advertising. Which brings me to my next question. Tons of filmmakers these days are going the crowdfunding route. Tell us, in your experience, how is it working for Malevolent, which you kind of gave us some insight to that, and do you think the perks and the benefits entice your audience to contribute to the film?
Yeah, so like a lot of people think you're just giving away money, but we have prizes. For like $1, we'll give you a custom Ouija board on our Facebook page. We're offering...
I got one of those, and it's fucking awesome. For $15, we're offering film tickets for people who want to go to the premiere with a Q&A afterwards. I mean, that's a deal you really can't beat. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to emphasize that to our audience. For $1, let's just drive that home, because that obviously is an affordable rate, and if a lot of people do it, it's better than a lot of people contribute. It's better than a lot of people contributing a small amount of money or a large amount of money. But for $1, you can have a custom Ouija board from the movie. And to me, that's a no-brainer. Do it. Get your friends to do it. It's $1.
It's not bad. There's not a whole lot you can do with just $1 anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So why not? Go and support.
It's kind of like that. Getting someone to vote thing. One vote won't change everything, but works in numbers.
Right. No, absolutely. And do you think crowdfunding will replace big budget movie production teams and fan-driven horror really seems to be the way of the future these days. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, let's hear from the producer. I'm sorry. I've been meaning to go over there and ask you a question. I've just been kind of getting caught up.
I believe it is. I mean, everybody has seen that big name TV shows have turned into full-length features with crowdfunding. And so it is the way of the future. As far as for us, we want whoever donates and helps us, we want them to feel like they're part of our family, the Malevolent family. So that's one of our big ideas and what we want as far as our fans and our helpers is to feel like they're part of our family.
And there's an advantage with horror films is you don't need big name actors to get people to go.
It's an interesting point that most of Johnny Depp, Jennifer Aniston, tons of big name actors and actresses started in horror movies, and it's interesting that people forget that Nightmare on Elm Street, New Line Cinema, started out of a trunk of a car. And it just so happened that that they got lucky, and so that's one thing that interests me about crowdfunding. Right. And they think it's this brand new thing, but back then people were doing the same thing. They were going out and they were handing out flyers and they were getting investors. I mean, it's funny because people think that crowdfunding is this new invention, but it's just a new way to do things.
Now we have a new medium, and that is the internet,
and
it's just way faster. You can reach way more people. And I think the thing is to actually just get one person on board, and then that's going to start a chain reaction of more and more people following,
right.
and of course tell your friends and your friends' friends and so on. But
eventually, that's also the hardest part is getting people to do that. The craziest thing is you can cut and copy all you want, or even like Facebook has it to where there's a share button. All you have to do is hit share, but getting people to physically click that like,
oh man, it's crazy, and it's a shame, really. But one other thing I wanted to ask you guys is that piracy and iTunes has dominated the mainstream way of obtaining art, especially independent art. For me personally, I still buy records, I still buy DVDs, albums, because that's a package of the art. And I really think that Malevolent, and if this is a surprise, you don't want to give anything away, you don't have to. But this seems like the perfect opportunity because when you guys release this, I don't know what you have planned, but I can totally see, I don't know if you guys have the box set of the Hellraiser films to where it's like a lament configuration that opens up. I could totally see you having the box and then pulling out, so actually the package is your haunted music box, right? Do you guys have anything like that? Because for me as a fan, I will always buy that kind of stuff just because it's so badass, and the idea that you guys have is screaming for something like that.
And that was a good idea. We hadn't thought of that, but I always go out and buy the special editions.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what one of the best.
Dads, all that.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, one of the best marketing ideas is something that Kiss did. Make yourself seem bigger than you are, and people will buy it. People will buy into it, and kind of let them advertise you. Definitely. Do you have anything to say to that?
So you guys are out of Albuquerque.
Yes.
How long have you all been there?
I moved here in October. I came from southern New Mexico, then I was in LA, and then I moved out here.
I was born and raised in Albuquerque.
I'm about 5 years. I was going to go to California, had some friends in New Mexico, and it's great. I love New Mexico. The weather's great. Look what we get to do. Look at the team that we assembled here.
Yeah,
I feel so
that's incredible.
So how did you guys actually get to cross paths?
Yeah, we were doing a 48-hour horror film, and I met these guys through Craigslist.
That's
places,
awesome.
right?
I just put an ad
So
out
wait a
there,
minute. So what we have here is an independent horror film that is totally a product of 21st technology, 21st century technology. That's really cool. You met on Craigslist. You're doing the crowdfunding. Facebook is your advertising platform. That's really a testament to how awesome the genre is these days. That's really cool.
And like Jonah said too, like horror films create so much art. They drive so much in the film industry.
Right.
And people like a controlled place to be scared. They don't want to be scared at their house or anything.
Absolutely.
Or actually have it happen to them. But
Right.
they'll watch it.
Well,
And so
exactly. I mean, the best thing about horror is that every human emotion known to man can be kind of exploited in cinema. Every emotion in horror. One of my all-time favorite movies is Witchboard, and you knew that was coming, right? And in that film, there are two different Ouija boards. There's the one you see in the beginning, and then the green one towards the end. And that's because Parker, or whoever distributed that particular board, they said, hell no, you cannot use it for whatever reason. I would let Tawny Katane use anything that she wanted to use. But have you guys had any of those kind of problems come up? I mean, as far as actually, like with the short, with the Ouija board and stuff like that?
Because the short we're not selling, I don't think it's an issue. We haven't heard anything yet, but...
Okay. Well,
future,
when you do, if you do, I hope you don't, but if you hear something, that's kind of cool, right? That your independent short is seen by that many people, that Parker is like, oh, wait a minute, hell no.
I'll frame that letter.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, we are... Sorry, what?
For the future, though, we're actually going to design our own special boards. We're going to make 10 of them. And it's actually one of our perks. If you give money, or if you donate money, we'll send you a Ouija board. And we'll sign it and everything and let you know what scene it was used in.
That's very cool. But see, me as a fan of the paranormal stuff, and I'm a fan of you guys too, but I'd say, man, I'd donate just to get it.
To get the board?
And to use it. And to totally use it. Uh-oh, he's going to give us an exclusive look at one of the Ouija boards.
So, in the spirit of the movie, we found all these at estate sales.
Oh, very cool.
That is cool.
And they're already signed? Look at it. Don't forget to say bye. I love that.
Now, I heard that those might be up for sale through Indiegogo. Is that true?
Yes, this one actually was just purchased.
Yes, this is the one we used in the short, and it's all signed by cast and crew.
And then we found this one the other day at an estate sale.
Oh,
now,
wow.
That's cool. Is that the glow-in-the-dark one?
This one does glow in the dark.
Yeah, that's the same kind I have. Very cool.
That's cool, yeah.
I love the next one. I haven't even seen it all. Oh,
that's cool.
Man, that is awesome. That is just killer.
Estate sales, they look at me like, what's wrong with you?
Now, are all of those up for grabs?
Yeah. They're all
Okay.
Well, except the first one that was sold, right?
Except the first one. That one's already been sold.
Yeah.
So are you going to sign those other ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're going to leave these ones as options. You can either get it blank or have everybody sign it.
All right.
Well, that's very cool.
So what are your plans for Malevolent?
Well, right now it's making noise on Indiegogo. After that campaign ends, we're thinking about submitting it to horror festivals. We submitted Zipper to a few ones in LA, like LA Fear and Fantasy Fest. We want to see what Malevolent does there. We'll include the history behind that. This was a crowdfunding film. We shot for $120.
That blows my mind. $120. You couldn't have picked a better subgenre at a better time, because all of the top horror movies these days are paranormal. And now that doesn't necessarily mean that you guys jumped on a bandwagon. It just means that that's what people want to see these days. And as a fan, those are my favorite kind of movies. There's a movie that just came out a few months ago called The Ouija Experiment. Have you guys seen or heard about that?
Was that on Redbox?
It was on Redbox, and I just took a chance to rent it, and it was a found footage movie. I'm not just kissing your ass here. Your $120 short was better quality than that movie, but it seems like there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. The biggest horror movies I can think of in the past few years is Insidious, The Possession.
There have been so
there are so many. The Last Exorcism. There's so many.
Part two.
Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah, but we are very, very excited for the project. I've seen a lot in my line of work. I've seen a lot of shorts, and I've seen even more full-length promotions. But Malevolent, it really has me very, very excited, and I can't wait to see the finished product. Truly. And for everyone that watches this video for $1, and obviously we want to urge you to contribute more, but if all you can do is $1, it's worth it because
Totally worth it.
the custom Ouija board on Facebook makes a badass profile cover, just so you know.
Yeah, it does.
And then share and ask your friends to
Yeah,
watch
share it, man.
it. And then share.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
if you have a business, we'll put your logo on our boards as well.
Yeah, they did one for Horror Central and Horror Train, and for both of us personally.
Yeah.
And it's very cool stuff. Well, before we go, is there anything else that you guys want to plug or talk about, or you guys just want to? Well, that's it for my questions. So now we can just kind of open it up. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about, well, I want to hear more from the producer. Tell us what. Yeah, I kind of feel bad. I feel like we left you out.
It's okay.
Tell us about the experience of actually doing this short film.
Oh, wow, the experience has been wonderful. Working with Jonas, our cast, Jordan, it's amazing. I've been pleased and privileged that Jonas has brought me on as executive producer.
It's helped me so much.
We work great as a team. Working next to Jonas, I've learned so much, and vice versa. But we really know what we each want. We both love the genres, and we are definitely passionate about not just horror films, but Malevolent as well.
Yeah, that's a great way to be, and that's very cool that you said that. I totally love that he said we're not just passionate about horror films, but about Malevolent.
Right.
That was a very cool thing to say. Now, Jordan, you said that you played a teacher?
I play the demonologist. So I go in, my job is to come and try to figure out what the hell's going on. Is this
That's
a joke?
awesome.
Is it serious? And then I find out that this is off the charts. Shit's happening.
Yeah,
So
right.
There's
one
darkness
of the things
behind
I
these
did
eyes.
with
So you're like the Dr. Loomis character.
Yes.
Very cool.
What we're going to do, we're going to link Indiegogo down at the bottom of the page. So you guys need to go to Indiegogo, contribute $1, because that would be awesome. And I know that these guys here would really, really appreciate that. That'd be
Not just them, I would appreciate that because
Oh,
I want to see this movie.
we need to see this movie.
It's
It's got to happen. So we're also. I'm sorry.
I want it to be scary. Like the short is, we did that on a limited budget. To me, it's more cool than scary, but for the future, I want it to be frightening, and that's what I'm going for.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Sheer terror.
Oh yeah. Because I think we've had this conversation before. It's like, when's the last time you saw a movie that really scared you? And and I saw some scary stuff in the short that's on YouTube, which we're going to be posting.
That's actually a cool talking point. If you guys don't mind, I'm interested. What is the last horror movie that you've seen that actually scared you? We'll start with Brandon. What's the last one you've seen that actually scared you?
Well, the last time I got scared watching a scary movie, this is kind of embarrassing to say. I was like 10 years old, and there's this movie, Evolver, that scared the crap out of me. Did you see Evolver?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I think it's on Netflix now, but that was hands down one of the scariest movies when I was 10 years old.
For me, as an adult, and I'm going to get to you guys because this is actually a really good talking point. Thank Brandon for bringing it up. But in my adult life, the two I've seen that have actually genuinely frightened me. The one was Liv Tyler in The Strangers. I mean, that movie, it's creepy. And also, there's an independent paranormal movie called Death of a Ghost Hunter. That if you guys haven't seen, it's on Netflix. You got to check it out. You have to. It's so genuinely frightening.
I have to take mine back and say The Changeling really messed me up. The Changeling was like The Ring is, but it's kind of the same storyline.
Okay, what about you guys?
I think Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about Pet Cemetery? When I was a kid, I remember it fondly, but I watched it again not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and that movie, it's so unique because it's almost like it's a movie full of scenes, and I know each movie's like that, but I don't know how to explain what I'm talking about. But it's like Pet Cemetery. It's like one scene, then another scene, then.
Doesn't have a really good flow to it.
I mean, the story is phenomenal, but as an adult,
Well, there are some pretty iconic images that really stand out
definitely.
too. Like you see the guy that played Herman Munster in there,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, oh man, yeah, exactly. And then also the
you gotta go down that road.
Yeah, don't go down that road.
Road Lewis.
So, Pet Cemetery. Jordan, what about you?
For me as a kid, Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
I could not
yes.
sleep.
I'm a huge
Freddy.
Freddy fan.
Me too.
Oh, Freddie.
You
Yeah,
know,
Freddy
his
Krueger.
eyes open all night long until I passed out.
he'll get in your dreams, man.
I know, right? It was brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Young at the time, too.
So the last movie that scared you, what was it?
The original Halloween.
The original Halloween?
Original with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yeah.
Just the original John Carpenter's one-tone beat music, and then just the way Michael Myers stabbed a guy and just stood there and just looked at him with his head tilted.
He was one of the first creepers, like slow moving, I'm gonna catch you no matter how fast you're moving.
Exactly.
You just can't run away fast enough because he's gonna get to you eventually.
I saw that movie, it creeped me out, and right there I was hooked with horror films forever.
When I was working in Detroit, I went to go watch The Conjuring, and I was the only person in the theater.
Wow.
What? Just because they didn't want to see it, or because it was too scary?
I think the fact that I was alone, and then I think that's what enhanced the experience.
That would be really scary. Like, for me, as an adult, The Ring took me like 5 nights to watch it. Just by myself.
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely.
In the dark
There's-
on the big screen, I can see how that'd be scary to be
Oh,
in there
I
by
mean,
yourself
you
in
know
the
what?
big theater.
The Conjuring, I put off watching that movie. I just watched it the first time like a month ago, and I was like, "Geez, this movie's brilliant." You know,
It's like a great movie.
Yeah.
I think the movie that really got me hooked on horror was the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
For me, man, that movie is just.
Thank you guys for
Share
giving us this
continue.
interview.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
It was such a blast talking to you. I'm a bigger fan now than I was before we started it. And definitely. And for this is Elliot Gore for Horror Central Horror Train signing off.
This is Jacko Horror Train signing off.
And check out Malevolent. All the details will be below.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Okay.